What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of Tasty Tuesday on Tasty Loot Gaming, the show where we talk about gaming news. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Chevy's back. He was gone for the whole weekend. It's been a very long time since I've seen the guy. Quick reminder to play. We are in our last week of PlayStation Plus games for this month. That is Laser League and Friday the 13th, the game. Both offer free on PlayStation Plus. Download those, play those. Come back Wednesday and maybe Friday. We're still trying to figure that out. This week's really fucked up when it comes to the end of the month. But we will have Plus Club out Wednesday. Game of the month, hopefully Thursday or Friday. But play those, come back at the end of this week. We'll be talking about those. And our game of the month is Secret World Legends. We'll be picking a new game of the month in hopefully a less hectic month to be playing that. Because as everyone knows, fucking Broketober's been rough on everyone's fucking wallets. And mine.
Different reasons for me.
Mine has been. It's horrible. And I have no time to play anything because like all the games that came out this month, they're all like huge fucking mega titles that have a lot of content, and you need to be. I need like 3 clones to play these games. So play those games. Come back at the end of the month, which is like at the end of this week, and we'll talk about it. Also, good.
I just said it's soon.
Yeah, it's very soon. It's coming very soon. We have Discord, link down below. Talk to us anytime, all the time. Just added 2 new channels to the Discord. We got a Red Dead Redemption 2 one because that was starting to take up General, and I like to, if something's starting to kind of dominate General, I like to make a channel for it so we can have a space for everyone to talk about everything, and it becomes one topic. Move it over to the closet. And also added a Soul Calibur one because Chris is working on a project right now where he's trying to make all these Final Fantasy Tactics characters, and he's posting those pictures.
One place to put them.
And where, huh?
Yeah.
We kind of made it up while we're talking on Tastecast about it. So after that, we made the Soul Calibur one. We invited all of you guys, if you're making characters in the character customization, to post in there as well.
I probably got at least 10 I could put in there already.
Yeah, so just take pictures, show everybody what you're fucking working with. Also, we are on podcast platforms, iTunes, Spotify, a bunch of other ones. Links down below if you prefer to listen to us. And if you're listening to us and you want to watch us, we film every single episode. That's on YouTube at Tasty Loot Gaming. So Tasty Tuesday, we have 2 bits of news. We're trying to keep this one a little short. Chevy's a little jet lagged from flying 2 hours. And
the flying wasn't the problem. It was all the driving and the what's that called? Layover.
Yeah. So. And I just got off work, so I'm pretty tired. And we got a lot of things to film this week. This is going to be a fucking full week of episodes. Like 4 episodes this week. Tastecast yesterday. Watch that. So we got 2 bits of news. Let's jump into the first bit of news.
So Battlefield 5 has another delay. Their Battle Royale mode called Firestorm has been pushed back a month and will now come out in March 2019. It is the 3rd chapter of a series of content they're making. Chapter 1 is called Overture. Chapter 2 is called Lightning Strikes. The first of those mentioned is a tank-focused Panzerstorm map and a new war story called The Last Tiger, and vehicle customization features coming roughly 2 weeks after launch. The wording was funny there. The vehicle customization comes out in Chapter 2. And then going back to the Battle Royale part of this story, Firestorm is a 64-player teams of 4 mode, and a Ring of Fire will close in throughout the match.
Hence Firestorm.
Yeah, as players scratch weapons and fight to be the last team remaining, because obviously it's Battle Royale. So how do we feel about their chapter plan and the delay?
2 things I want to add to that real quick. I didn't know this, but I think it's worth mentioning. Criterion's actually working on Firestorm. DICE is not. So that's kind of interesting to know that I believe those guys made, I think one of the last Burnout games. They made a racing game.
They also made the Battlefield that wasn't quite Battlefield.
Yeah, Hardline.
Yeah.
And that one was fine, but it wasn't. They didn't hit the mark. Yeah. So I'm actually glad to see they're still working with Battlefield. I'm glad that didn't just tank them. Also, I think you said that this is coming out a month delayed. Firestorm, and was it originally supposed to come out in February? Because I think you meant that the game itself was delayed a month.
That's probably what I meant.
Yeah. I just want to clear that up so no one in the comments is like, fucking all the fuck you talking about is an error. So Battlefield 5 got delayed a month. It was supposed to come out in October. It's coming out next
November
month.
now, yeah.
And Firestorm has been pushed back to 2019 fucking March
instead of launch.
Yeah,
Right.
exactly. Just want to clear that up. What do you think of this? I have more, I think, of an opinion on this than you do. So I'm curious. I know you presented the question, but I'm kind of curious as somebody who doesn't play Battlefield as much as me, how you feel about that.
Well, unfortunately, I haven't really been following this one. So, like, as far as like the specifics of this game go, I kind of don't care. But as like looking at the situation itself,
Wait, you mean to tell me you don't care about Battle Royale modes?
no, not at all. The delay, and I feel like we talked about it a little bit, but in case we didn't, or this is your first episode of ours, this was obviously to get out of the hot month, which was October, and was also to kind of cool off PR-wise because they've been not handling PR very well to keep that nice and short. I do think it's weird that they're choosing now to tell us that this Battle Royale mode is coming out later.
This close to launch?
Yeah. Because I think that most people would have assumed, which you probably shouldn't do, but people do it, that this was going to be a feature with launch because Call of Duty was doing that. Battlefield was talking like they were doing that. And everyone else that's doing Battle Royale is talking about it as if it's this thing that's happening right now.
Yeah.
And then we're like a week or two away from this game coming out, and they're like, oh, March.
Yeah.
It seems a little. Once again, their PR is just not on point in this game at all.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
So. Before I go into this, any Battlefield fans out there, I apologize. I'm one of you as well. So this is not coming from somebody who hates the series. I love Battlefield. I've been playing it since the original. But this whole game so far seems to be a fucking train wreck. There was miscommunication originally with the game, and the community, certain parts of the community had certain issues that were slightly more nuanced than DICE wanted to admit. And they alienated those people without conversation and essentially told them to go fuck themselves, which shut down the conversation instantly and has created a lot of boycott talk. And there's a lot of people who are not going to buy this game. Then they wanted to release this game when Call of Duty Black Ops 4 was coming out, and Red Dead Redemption 2, and Assassin's Creed Odyssey. It's a bad month. Soul Calibur, even though I don't think that is something they have to contend with, it's not a good month for anybody releasing games. You got to be Call of Duty or Red Dead Redemption 2 to be releasing in that month and not worry about that. So them delaying it is interesting, because I think it's, first off, to hope within a month people just forget that there was problems in the first place. Also, after the beta, people were not impressed. People liked it. Some people liked it, but a lot of people who liked it also had a lot of negative things to say about it, which was kind of shocking to me. Even down to like the menu. People were saying the menu looked like shit, which is, not that big a deal, but people were nitpicking that much. People saying that there wasn't that many guns and the guns weren't that great and all this shit. And so they did that. They did that delay, and I think that was kind of, I get why they're doing it. It's a business. They got to make money, but I think it's kind of foolish. I think 1 month's not enough, and I think it's kind of chicken shit of them to do that, because they still haven't really backed down from the sentiment of, if you don't like what we're doing, fuck yourself. It's really bad. It's really bad for business to do that. Now, one of their most exciting features, regardless of if you like Battle Royale or not, one of their most exciting features, because they're fucking huge right now, Battle Royale modes, they are delaying till March of next year, months after release. I'm actually really curious to see how this pans out, because this is either going to be really fucking bad on top of already a shitstorm, or it might work out. But the thing that's kind of fucked about this is you already have Fortnite. It's huge. Everybody fucking knows that. PUBG is doing fine, even though it's not being talked about as much. And Blackout is a fucking hit. People love it. That's 3 major Battle Royale games on top of all the other ones that exist, flourishing right now. And Blackout is brand new to the fucking scene, and it's doing really good. Months from now, it's probably going to be doing even better. Treyarch's been regularly rolling out fucking updates to all of its parts of its game and brand new things to unlock. that gives them months to invest in getting people staying at this game. By the time fucking this comes out, it's going to have to do something
Very different
to distract people from the shit they're invested in. So it's kind of crazy to watch this because I've been a huge fan of DICE for a long time, and now I'm not at all. I don't like the way they're handling this, and I don't think they know what they're doing right now. I think they're fucking panicking. Something with Firestorm, obviously, they still need to work on if it's that far out. But they didn't even fucking talk about that. They've been very fucking vacant about talking about this shit. They haven't even told anybody about this mode, really, outside of it's a Battle Royale mode, and there's fire. That's it. We don't know what to expect from it. Is it going to be different in any way? Is there any exciting features to it? I'm sure I'll be fine, but this whole thing is just a clusterfuck. It's crazy. It's really bad. I mean, the guy who was fucking leading the whole fucking thing left. People are saying that he left and he took a settlement or whatever, or like, what's that called?
severance.
Severance, yeah. But now people are talking about how this guy probably got fired because the pre-orders on this game are so fucking low. And that they said that because it's business. They can't tell people, oh shit, our game's not really being well received. People are really upset at us. And we had to fire someone because he's not making us enough money. I mean, it's really fucking bad. And This is following Battlefront 2. Also DICE game. Also not well received. And I read recently, too, somebody was like, all press is good press. And I know a lot of people like to say that or whatever. It's not 100% true. Because if you look at Battlefront, that game is pretty much dead. Last time I looked at it, which I think was around E3 when they were talking about big updates coming out for this game.
Right.
I went on to see people streaming because I was like, is the game worth picking up? Did they fix it? There was 2 streams on PSN. And the first one I went into, a guy was bitching. He's like, if we can't get into a fucking match in the next 5 minutes, I'm leaving. I'm playing something else. The next stream I went into, this guy was like, I don't know why nobody plays this. It's really fun because he's in a room with like 3 other people. The game's fucking dead. So this is DICE twice now.
Dropping the ball.
Just dropping the fucking ball. How much more can they do that? And EA, who the fuck loves EA?
Yeah.
It's not a good situation. When people are like, this is good press, even negative press, good press. Not when everybody's saying this game fucking is garbage. That's not good. People who even like Battlefield and people who played the beta. I know a bunch of people who didn't even touch it. I didn't touch the fucking beta. I was completely disinterested. This whole thing's a shitstorm. So like, I don't know. It's crazy to watch. And I know I'm kind of ranting a lot, but this is just another thing that's just badly communicated. Whoever the fuck is running this shit right now needs to get the fuck out. They need somebody else to come in. And then recently they're talking about they're hiring an intern, an unpaid intern, to study the Battlefield 5 community to better understand them and how they can fix that community. The game's not even out yet. So they're going to treat you like a fucking guinea pig. Like it's bizarre. All the shit going on with this game.
That's crazy.
And EA can't keep doing this. Like nobody's liked EA for fucking years.
Long time.
For years. They were voted like worst company, which I think is
year after
ridiculous.
Year, until Comcast finally took it.
Yeah. For like 2 or 3 years in a row. And I was always like, do you really think they're the worst company out there? They're bad, but you think they're the worst? And now I'm like, they don't learn.
No.
They don't give a shit. You're giving them fucking money. And they're like, oh, well, deal with it. They literally said that with the Battlefront thing. People were like, fucking, we don't like this. They're like, yeah, you will. It's fine. Okay. So that whole fucking, the relationship between customer and the people who make the stuff we're supposed to buy, you know, is in some way fucking sacred. I mean, like, if you want our money, you gotta have something for us to want to buy.
Right.
And even if there's something that we want to buy from you, you gotta fucking meet us somewhere when it comes to the way you communicate with us. You can't just be like, buy my shit, fuck you. Because me, just speaking for myself, I will never fucking buy from someone like that. I don't care enough. I'm fucking happy with Call of Duty right now. I don't need Battlefield.
Well, no, it does go a long way. I mean, and obviously not everyone looks into situations to the same like degree that we decide to. Obviously, at war in this, obviously now we decide to do it in front of a camera, so it's a little more of a mandatory thing for us. But we were doing it even before the channel existed. So, So your average customer may not even know. I mean, those are the type of people who are going out and still buying the Battlefront games, but are they sticking around in the long run too? Is the other problem. You know what I mean? And obviously they're not, because
Last thing I'm worried about too with Battlefield is like people are going to buy it. Not as many as people are hoping for, but people are going to buy it.
I'm sure it'll be successful too. Yeah.
It's going to make enough money.
Yeah, for
which
sure.
is kind of, they need a punch to understand.
Yeah, but
they
if
need
the
something to hit
dip
'em.
keeps happening,
Yeah.
they're going to notice the trend at least.
Well, and their competition making as much money as they are, and they making
Yeah.
less, is not a good sign. They'll have to fix something.
No, for sure, because the shareholders are going to start speaking up. But I had an example.
Sorry, yeah.
No, it's okay.
I'm wound up thinking about this shit.
I lost it. But anyways, okay. Konami did this, obviously, and if you've been following the channel, you've heard us say, essentially fuck Konami multiple times at this point.
Mm-hmm.
Or the one time I just said Ubisoft by mistake.
Yeah.
But
I like Ubisoft. I'm sorry.
That was kind of a huge slap in the face, and it's funny because I don't have that huge of a connection to Konami. I liked Castlevania.
I
don't
do.
get me wrong. And I like Metal Gear and I like Silent Hill, but they're not huge games for me personally. I love watching Seth play them. I think they're great to watch. I just am not so into them myself, play wise. Now that being said, the way they handled that whole situation with Kojima, the way they have literally taken game series that people love, a good big one for me would be Suikoden is gone now. Castlevania is essentially gone now.
Yeah.
And they don't give a shit, and they pretty much are unapologetic about it.
100%.
I don't support them anymore.
Well, and it's funny too because they're still. I assume I haven't heard from them, but they're still making money. I assume.
Sweet pachinko money.
But their whole legacy is fucking tarnished now.
100%.
Nobody looks at Konami positively anymore.
No, so the Castlevania 2-pack on PlayStation or whatever. I'd like to own it, to be honest, but I'm not going to buy it. Plain and simple. It's just not going to happen. I'm not going to buy it. Even their Netflix show, which I know they've already been paid, I still kind of refuse to watch it because I don't want help in the ratings.
It's good too. I liked it.
And it sucks for the director and the people behind the actual creation of the show, because I feel for them, and I think it's awesome that they were able to turn that into something cool. But at the end of the day, it's a Konami property, and I don't want to support it. So,
in fact, the showrunner of that, Adi Shankar, who's a producer of ultra violent shit, which, go figure, Castlevania the show is pretty violent, but he, I think, is looking into potentially running the Zelda show now, which is kind of interesting.
That is interesting.
That's a whole other thing,
but yeah. So I mean, and that's something that everyone universally has said is really good, and I'm missing out on. I would acknowledge that,
which shows the lasting effect of that PR.
Yeah, and it wasn't even a company that was that dear to me.
Yeah.
So you'd like
bad business.
to wrap this back to where you were before I started talking.
Yeah.
That bad PR can only go so far before people finally start getting fed up. And
and this is strike 2.
Yeah.
So and it sucks too because it's fucking DICE, but obviously the people running DICE right now, don't care enough about their original fan base.
Yeah.
And their bad communication is just another layer. And again, the point of this whole topic was Firestorm was delayed, but that could have been communicated better. The hype of it is not there. I don't know anybody talking about it. I haven't talked to anybody who's excited for Battlefield 5, and I'm sure there are people watching who are going to pick it up. But even the people I know who are just like, yeah, I'm going to pick it up. They're not pumped.
Right.
I mean, I'm not hearing any hype for this game, and I'm definitely not hearing any hype for fucking Firestorm. And to be honest, like I said, Blackout is doing really well in the Battle Royale market. People are comparing it to Fortnite, not in how it looks or gameplay, but in its quality.
Yeah.
How much they're enjoying it. People are really fucking stoked about it. And so they slid in, they just took a piece of the fucking pie. I don't know if Firestorm's going to be able to do it.
Time will tell.
Yeah. Anyway, that was a very therapeutic session to just release some fucking tension. Let me know in the comments What do you think about Battlefield 5? Where do you stand on it? Wherever you stand, you're welcome. Your opinion is welcome on this channel, of course. So let us know where you stand on that. What do you think about the delay? What do you think about Firestorm getting delayed to next year? Do you think it's going to be beneficial to the game or game mode?
Or detriment
to it? Because I'm still kind of confused on it. I think overall it's going to be bad to not get in here as quick as possible with this Battle Royal. But maybe that time they can really do something to make it stand out. Because a lot of stuff they're doing right now is like trying to fix shit people didn't like about in the beta. Like they were like, oh, we noticed that the game was a little further out than you guys wanted, so we're fixing that. And it's like a month before the original release. I was like, you guys are really just fucking like, as you go trying to figure this out. So let me know everything you think about when it comes to Battlefield 5 and Firestorm and Battle Royals in general. Which one are you playing if you're playing any? Second bit of news. So the PlayStation Classic was announced already, and we've talked about it. I actually did an episode a while back where I made my 20 games I'd like to see on it. Make sure to go watch that if you're curious about what I would have liked to see on there and what's on that list. There's even more. I love the original PlayStation, so I could go for days. But they've finally announced what games are going to be on this thing. So before we get into that part, this will release on December 3rd. And that is
Smart timing.
Yeah. That is to celebrate its original launch in 1994. It's going to be 45% smaller than the original PlayStation, so smaller than it. It's a cute little boy. And yeah, so they came out and they said what is going to be on there. Oh, it's also going to be $99, so $100 US. So yeah, we're going to go down this list. We're going to talk about each of these games and what we think. Just for transparency, I will probably pick this up. Chevy's not really too into the micro console market. So we're going to be more so discussing what we think about how this represents PlayStation and is the total package, regardless of if you want it or not. Is it a good collection? Right. So let's jump into it. So the first game on this list is Battle Arena Toshiden, which is a fighting game. Mm-hmm. What do you think about that one?
Is there any other fighting games on the list?
Yeah, Tekken 3 for sure is on there. That was one of the original.
Okay. So I mean, it's good. Before I give too much opinion on this, on that video also I had put a list as well, and I didn't put like necessarily 20 games I wanted as much as like 20 games of a variety of things that I think would work better. Yeah. So I kind of that's why I was wondering if there's more, because I tried to kind of do 2 of everything when I was kind of going through it.
Well, and that is something I was trying to think of as well. Yeah. Also, it comes with 2 controllers, so I thought that multiplayer was very important.
So with those points out there, I think it's good because it's also a different style of fighting game than the other ones on there. So.
It's interesting, too. On my list, I actually said to put Street Fighter Alpha 3 on there because I thought it would be important to have another fighting game on there as well. So I think it's actually kind of cool that they went with like, you know, a very PlayStation fighting game, showing pride in PlayStation, going with Battle Arena Toshiden, opposite of Tekken 3. So it is cool. You're getting 2 fighting games on there with 2 controllers. Cool Borders 2. Which was a snowboarding game.
Seems like a no-brainer to me.
No-brainer. I actually never thought of that when I was thinking about my list.
I didn't either, but
I was like,
makes total sense.
Sports game. It was fun. I liked it.
It's also multiplayer.
Yeah. Next one is Destruction Derby, which is also multiplayer.
That was another one I remember a lot of people playing, and I didn't think of either. Yeah. So it makes sense too.
Yeah. It's an interesting one for sure. I would have never picked it, but this thing's got to, be interesting to everybody. And somebody out there definitely played that shit.
Well, and that was
and really would want to play it again.
Yeah, exactly. And that's why I said I remember a lot of people playing that game. So that makes a lot of sense. So I also am not clamoring for that, but it does. That is I think a smart choice. So.
Although when I pick it up, I will definitely be playing all these games to check them out again.
I hope you would at least try them all.
That's what I did with my my Super Nintendo too. Final Fantasy VII, which is one of the original ones they showed off.
No one will play that.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think that's a must. I think it's one of the pinnacle games of PlayStation. Yeah. If not all video games ever. And
It's a pretty important one to have on the list.
yeah, I actually said if this had Metal Gear Solid, Final Fantasy 7, and Silent Hill, I would have to buy it no matter what. Because to have those three games, those three legendary games on one thing would be fucking phenomenal.
Close.
Yeah, very close. I'm very happy though with the other one that's on there. But yeah, that one's awesome. I mean, everybody's played Final Fantasy 7, and if you haven't, this would be a great way to play it if you want other old school games, especially if you're younger and you didn't have a chance to play PlayStation.
I don't feel like anyone could, even if you're not a huge fan of Final Fantasy 7, I don't think anyone could without just trying to be a jerk, say that that's a bad choice.
Or if they're one of those people who like wants to represent Final Fantasy 6 so hard that they're negative about 7. I've met like 3 people like that in my life.
Sure, but that's not a PlayStation 1 game.
Yeah.
If it's on the SNES, which it is.
Well, they did come out with that PlayStation version of it though. With
The
cutscenes.
Origins of version or ones or whatever. But my whole point is like that is what the whole idea what represents PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
That didn't represent PlayStation. That was the same as us doing remasters essentially. So.
Final Fantasy Tactics, War of the Lions on Android.
Well, no, Tactics, it doesn't represent PlayStation.
And PSP. I'm just saying, like the throwback game coming back to a newer thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. One I did not expect. One I would not have thought they would add. Grand Theft Auto, the original one.
Yeah, this one's always so weird to me because they do throw it on a lot of things, and it makes complete sense. But I can't think of anyone who actually likes playing this game.
Anyone who actually did play it tells me they liked it, and I liked it. But I
God, even when it came out, I thought it controlled like garbage.
Well, at the time it came out is kind of crazy. There wasn't a whole lot of games where you could freely roam around a city. I mean, it was pretty basic and it's mostly driving, and you couldn't see fucking 10 feet ahead of you. No. It's top down. I think it is kind of important because it's undeniable Rockstar's impact now.
For sure.
I mean, Red Dead Redemption 2, fucking Grand Theft Auto 5, both fucking huge games.
Right.
People love them. Maybe some people want to go back and see where it all started.
Yeah.
So I would have never thought that they would fucking pick that one. And I'm surprised to see it. I don't know if I'm super excited about it, but I think it's kind of cool because it's probably like one of the more mature games on here. There's actually quite a bit of surprises on here for me.
Right.
Another surprise, Intelligent Cube.
Also, go ahead.
I would have never fucking guessed that they would put that on there.
I wouldn't have guessed either, but as soon as I saw it on the list, I was like, oh yeah.
I remember the advertising for that game.
That is like the puzzle game.
Yeah. They're really hyping it up. Like even when I was a kid, I didn't like puzzle games. I was like, oh, I want to get that game.
I played the demo for that so many times. It was stupid.
Yeah, so, it was a cool game. So that's really interesting. Jumping Flash. This was also originally announced in the original 5. I'm the only person on the fucking planet who doesn't have an affinity for this game.
I didn't play it either, but everyone loves it.
Well, I've played it, but I'm not big on it. Anyone who did play it or at least heard of it and pretended they played it, there was like, oh yeah, I love that game. I'm like, really?
I've been chewed out for not having played that.
Man, I don't get it. If you like it, that's fine. Obviously, I don't have a connection to that game at all.
I think it just shows that it's a good choice because obviously
people are into it.
Yeah, people are really into it. So.
And this isn't like Seth's fucking PlayStation Classic. This is fucking
supposed to be everybody's.
A little bit of something for everybody. So that makes sense. One of my favorite games of all fucking time. I'm so glad they threw it on here. Metal Gear Solid, adding so much value to this for me. As somebody who wants it as a collector's item, Final Fantasy 7 and Metal Gear Solid on the same fucking little baby console, fucking dope. I'm so excited for that. I mean, I still own this for PlayStation. So, any thoughts on it?
I mean, essentially, this is an echo of what we just talked about in the last episode. It's great, but it's a reason for me not to buy it personally. But it is a great game, and it does represent PlayStation 100%.
Yeah.
So.
Mr. Driller, which was a puzzle game, kind of like Tetris. You would know by the case if you saw it for sure.
Well, obviously, I don't have a strong affinity for it then because I don't remember now. Obviously,
I never played it, but I saw the when I was younger. I remember seeing it, and then when I looked it up earlier today, I guess. Fucking what day is it? I can't tell. Everything's a fucking blur. I looked it up and I was like, oh yeah, that game. I never played it, but I'm also not a big puzzle guy. I like Tetris, I guess, but
Yeah,
it's one of those like Dr. Mario, Robotnik fucking
sure, and like
bean machine.
And I'm with you. I like Tetris. I like Puyo Pop.
Yeah.
I really need to pick up the combo game. I played the demo on the Switch, and it is really cool.
Combo
I'm getting
game.
Puyo Pop Tetris, essentially. Plus the new Tetris that came out on PlayStation, I want to get as well.
Is that out?
If it isn't, it's soon because I've seen it in the store. So.
It's weird. I'm hyped for that game.
I think a lot of people are, oddly enough. But I think it's because the Luminous guy is, worked on it.
Well, that and like Tetris is just like a great go-to because everybody will play Tetris.
Right.
I mean, it's one of the most classic gameplay games.
Isn't that the most sold game in history?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought so. Anyways, I don't know anything about this game.
Unless it's not, let me know in the comments.
Honestly, I don't know how good of a pick this one is.
If you see that case, you'll be like, God damn.
Yeah, but how many people talk about this game? Do you know?
I did today.
That's my point. So.
They got to have something. They got to have some kind of fucking... We got another... It seems like they really took the rule of twos.
So
the Sith
it's
fucking
like
rule.
They had a budget and they had 19 games and all of a sudden they're like, I got 25 cents left, man. What can we fit on here, Mr. Driller?
Maybe Mr. Driller's fucking dope. You don't know.
Who made it?
I don't know. Konami probably. Next one is a given. One I kind of didn't want to see on here, but belongs here.
Super representative.
Belongs here for sure, which is Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey. The only reason I don't want to see it on here is because I've played it so much. And for me, it's just kind of like space that could be like something else could have been there. Silent Hill could have been there. But it definitely belongs there because Oddworld during like PlayStation's era
borderline mascot-y.
Was huge. Yeah, huge. It was all over everything. So, and it was very cool and ahead of its time and like was maturing the platformer genre, which was really fucking cool. So it definitely belongs there regardless of my opinion. Rayman is going to be on there, which has a cult following.
I think that's just a cool pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd call it representative, but it's definitely a really cool pick.
So.
It puts a platformer on the system.
Which PlayStation wasn't really known for.
Well, and then it rounds out the playlist a little bit. You know what I mean? So I think it's a good pick.
Definitely. Resident Evil Director's Cut, which this is really funny. Like when I did my list, I wanted to put Resident Evil in there because that's my original Resident Evil. But I know most people I've ever talked to in my life always says Resident Evil 2 is their first Resident Evil, which is fine. So I figured it'd be good for them to put Resident Evil 2 on there because that's going to be hitting more people. But then they have the fucking remake coming out soon. So it almost seems like they're doubling down too hard. So I'm very glad to see that they didn't do what I thought they should do and they're doing Resident Evil because that's the one I fucking loved. This will also give people who didn't play the original a chance to play. Although the director's cut has more content and they fixed a lot of things, but I will really miss the ridiculous intro of the original Resident Evil.
Right.
With the fucking with the fire in the background and shit.
Sweet, ginormous case.
Yeah.
I think Resident Evil, the original, is a perfect choice for a lot of reasons. I think it was one of the first times most people got to play a mature game of this caliber.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
It was also one of the first times a game was like super scary for a lot of people. Obviously, there were scary games before. Don't start chewing me out.
What? Dude, there ain't no scary games before that.
But most people got introduced to the horror genre with this game. And it really did a lot to kind of start and blow up a genre on console. So I think it's a super important game, and it definitely is representative of PlayStation. Like I said a moment ago, it was one of the original games came out in the huge cases that were like this.
That's how we played it, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's a must.
Yeah.
It's not even like a good choice. It's like you have
to. It needs to be there, yeah, for sure. Next one is Revelations Persona, which
I think it's Persona 1.
I've never played.
Me either.
It's a really interesting pick because, like I was saying before, they're really trying to be balanced on this, which I appreciate. So you're getting
some
RPGs, well, more because there's Wild Arms as well.
Oh yeah,
and Final Fantasy VII.
Why did that die? Sorry.
And RPGs, I think one of the golden ages, if not the golden age of RPGs, was on PlayStation.
The golden age.
Yeah.
Though we're having a pretty good run right now.
Yeah, and I would say PS2 had some pretty good ones too.
It did start dying off at the end.
PS3 was fucking.
Yeah, PS3 killed a lot of things.
And I'm only saying PlayStation consoles because Xbox has a pretty minimal selection of RPGs. It has some.
I give them props for at least trying to dabble, but they just never like invest enough into it to actually. It doesn't seem like they're like humoring us. Here's some RPGs. with the exception of Western, I'm talking JRPGs.
Yeah.
They did Jade Empire and Star Wars Knights of the Republic, stuff
yeah.
like that, which are amazing. Don't get me wrong, but they didn't try very hard on the JRPGs.
Yeah.
Anyways, sorry.
Yeah, so Persona I think is a cool pick. I've actually never played it, so I will definitely try that because I liked the newest Persona, so it'd be cool to go back and see where it all started.
I think it's a cool pick too because it's pretty much started the entirety of Shin Megami series. Yeah. I'm not saying it literally did, unless I'm kind of ignorant at the beginning of Shin Megami. So, but I do know that a few Shin Megami games came out and they slowly gained traction, and then we're all over the place. And then obviously look at the newest Persona, people just ate it up. So
it's really good.
They almost backed off from that series, but they brought that out, and now they're actually going to bring another Shin Megami game.
Yeah, which is really cool to see.
Yeah,
I'm glad to see a lot of games that only
coming back
stuck in Japan because the audience bought it there and we didn't. I'm glad to see that that's like with Yakuza.
I would say Yakuza is a great example
that they're coming over now, because that always used to bother me, seeing those games and being like, I want that. Why the fuck won't it come over here?
Yeah.
So very cool. Ridge Racer Type 4, which seems to
sense.
be one of the only racing games on here. I think it is the only racing game, which is really
about Destruction Derby. You could technically,
I mean,
say that about. But
in my warped brain, I'm thinking that's more of a brawler than anything.
it is closer to a fighting game, but yes,
for sure.
it is technically.
I think it's cool they're doing Ridge Racer. I think Ridge Racer will work for more people because it's an arcade racer. I would have loved to see a Gran Turismo on here, namely Gran Turismo 2. Although that would have taken up more space on this thing, even though fucking you could put all the games on this thing if you really wanted to.
Oh yeah,
they're all like 500 megabytes.
A fucking flash stick with a fucking PlayStation case around it, essentially. So
yeah, exactly. But I think it's a good pick. And at the time, Ridge Racer was really huge on PlayStation and PlayStation 2.
Ridge Racer is PlayStation.
Yeah.
So
although I really would have liked to see Gran Turismo.
Sure, I would have too.
Fucking dope.
Japanese console, Japanese racing game. I remember the advertisements and stuff for it too. Like they had the racer girls in the bright yellow outfits and stuff like that. I mean, that's PlayStation. So
yeah, for sure. Super Puzzle Fighter 2 Turbo, which I know a lot of people liked.
The game's awesome.
I actually never played it.
It's fun.
But again, another puzzle game.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cool for people who don't want like the action games. You can still sit back and play those. So.
That's a cult classic, so it makes sense.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's funny they went with that Street Fighter game and not like an actual one. But I mean, it was really popular. People really liked it.
Part of that might be too that they might want people to actually buy, the Street Fighter Arcade Edition instead.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. That's a good point. One that was on my list that I didn't think would make it, and it did, Siphon Filter. For some reason in my head, I was like, it'd be really cool if they had Siphon Filter, but why would they? But it's on here. So I'm happy because I really like that game. I know it has a cult following. I know a lot of people liked it.
I feel like a lot of people played that game.
They did. And when it first came out, it was like one of the first like third-person shooters that like kind of predated what the standard is now.
Right.
Like it was really kind of ahead of its time, and it was trying to go for like that Metal Gear Solid like photorealism as much as you can do with fucking polygons and pixels and shit. But
Yo, where's Treg? Sorry.
I would actually almost, as much as I would be stoked to see that, be very pissed if they added it, because it's a waste for most people. God, I forgot about Treg. There's a fucking move where he would jump upside down, do the splits, and shoot somebody.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's fucking dope shit. Siphon Filter, though, famous for, of course, the taser. You could shoot somebody with it, hold the button, and they fucking go, "Ooh," and then they light on fire and they die, which is really fucked up.
I have no affinity for this game, but it makes sense.
Yeah. In my opinion, a must. Tekken 3 has to be on it. It is the pinnacle PlayStation fighting game. So,
yeah. I was to say the only thing I could think of that would go against it at the time were both on Dreamcast, so they're not PlayStation, which would be Virtua Fighter and Soul Blade.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait,
Soul Blade is on PlayStation, yeah.
I think Soul Calibur then.
Yeah, Soul Calibur came out for Dreamcast, yeah. Was it Soul Blade or Soul Edge? I think it's Soul Blade, yeah.
Dude, now I don't know.
Yeah. I'm doubting myself. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 100% sure. I'm 99% sure it was Soul Blade. But that was on PlayStation. But Virtua Fighter was Sega. Tekken is way more iconic than Virtua Fighter, though.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I just remember in the arcade, At least here,
Yeah.
where close to where we live, they had Virtua Fighter before they had Tekken for some reason.
Yeah.
So,
And I love Virtua Fighter, but Tekken is king for sure.
100%. I'm not even gonna argue that.
And there's a character named King. This is a real big surprise for me, but I'm really kind of stoked about it. Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six.
That is a surprise, especially because
Why the fuck is that
I
on
don't.
there?
I mean, obviously enough people played it; they kept making them, but I don't know anyone who played this other than you.
I'd say I played the fuck out of this
I
game.
watched you play. Of course, it was on PC when you played it.
Yeah, I played on both. I actually kind of hated it on PlayStation because it played so much better on PC. But this game I was fucking in love with when I was younger. It was one of the first like tactical shooters like ever.
Pretty fucking tactical for the time.
You could pick like the point of entry of all the buildings, and you're like going from room to room, fucking throwing flashbangs in and shooting people. So I'm really excited for this, but like I still am just like, why is that on there? Like it's cool. Maybe they're like, we should put a shooter on there. What would we put on there? But why don't you put Medal of Honor if you were gonna do any kind of shooter?
Maybe Ubisoft wanted a couple games on the list.
Yeah, I mean, Ubisoft is very like representative. They really want to be everywhere.
Buy my book.
Exactly. So like fucking name the reference. Fucking, do you know what that's from? So I think it's a really interesting pick, and I'm really happy with it. But again, when I think about like who this is for, it's really interesting. But I mean,
Seth.
it's for me. Yeah, that's it should be. Any opinions on that? Anything other than?
I also think it's a weird choice, and
Yeah.
I think most people, if they didn't have an affinity for it before, and if they're coming into it new, are probably gonna hate it.
Especially from games now.
Yeah, that's gonna be a rough one.
Yeah, because you don't have analogs back then.
No, and
So you're gonna be like D-pad.
It's very like
strafe.
Wolfenstein-esque, wasn't it? Like first person.
It's 3D, but yeah.
Yeah, but the movement was like boom, boom, boom.
No, not really.
I thought it was. for
No,
some
it's
reason.
just an old school fucking first person shooter, just like Medal of Honor. It's all very corridor based,
I knew that because I
and you
remember.
move very slow, just like the original Ghost
I
Recon.
remember that too.
You like move like this, and then you press a button and you go a little faster. There's no run. It's fucking,
Right.
It's crazy. Anyway, enough on that. This one's also a little surprising because I feel like they picked the wrong one. But Twisted Metal, the original, I feel like it's a must. But I think Twisted Metal 2 should have been on here.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say Vigilante 8 for some reason.
Oh fuck no! Who the hell do you think I am?
I was like, what do you mean Twisted Metal doesn't make sense?
No, it makes complete sense. I just think 2 was like the fucking.
No,
the one
that
everyone
makes
loved.
sense. I got you now.
The first one's fine.
I was like, Twisted Metal is totally a PlayStation
Yeah.
icon.
Yeah, for sure.
So
Yeah, fucking Sweet Tooth was like a mascot too for the fucking
Yeah.
for the brand.
PlayStation, well, because they didn't really have the like
They didn't
the
have Nathan Drake yet.
mascot. Yeah.
Or Crash Bandicoot.
So yeah, they kind of like half had like these little temporary ones for a while.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, Twisted Metal. I think it's a great choice. But yeah, I think Twisted Metal 2 probably would have been better.
I think more people have an affinity for Twisted Metal 2. I think it had more vehicles. I think it had more character. I think it had better maps.
This is a sequel done right.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it was just a step up.
Right.
But Twisted Metal is like the original. So in a sense, I think it's kind of cool in a retro sense.
I think it's the same exact mentality though as like Resident Evil 2, probably for most people.
Yeah.
Like it's the beginning.
Yeah, a lot of these seem like, you're playing these games nowadays. This is where they came from.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of cool.
Except for the next one.
And the last one is Wild Arms, which I played a little bit when I was younger, but I mainly watched you play it.
I loved those games.
Yeah.
And then they just died. So where are they at, Capcom? Where are they at?
Thought you were about to ask Konami. I was like, fucking in the toilet.
No, that'd be Suikoden, which isn't on the list because
That was on my
for
list.
some reason, the only time they decided to give everyone a taste was on PS3.
Yeah, it's weird.
Anyways, I think Wild Arms is a great choice. I do think it is a niche choice because I know a lot of people who like this game, but in the grand scope of like people played games, like I don't know, like if I went up to a random person, I was like, Wild Arms is, they'd probably go, no, they had no idea what the fuck I'm talking about.
It'd have to be a certain kind of gamer for sure.
Yeah,
But your
that's-
average person who's probably playing like Fortnite, Call of Duty, fucking
Yeah, but they would know Final
everything.
Fantasy 7 as an example. Or-
Most people, yeah.
yeah.
Definitely.
So, and I think as much as I like Wild Arms better, and people are gonna kill me for this, more people know Legend of the Dragoon.
Yeah, and that's actually one of the most mentioned ones I saw when it came to this.
That's what I'm saying. So it's a confusing choice because there's RPGs that are more like widely known that I think would fit better. I personally am more happy about that choice. But
So am I.
Yeah.
Just because Legend of Dragoon is fine, but it just kind of falls into that. I don't know who made it, but it falls into that more like
Sony did.
normal, like humanoid shaped, like Final Fantasy VIII look, where like a lot of RPGs went. Whereas Wild Arms has a very specific visual style and flair to it that I think is a good yin to the yang of Final Fantasy VII.
Yeah. I
you're-
could think of a bunch of games that could have took that spot, but that was when I discovered I loved role playing games.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. No, you're really into that shit. Because even prior to that, Beyond the Beyond, you weren't all too into.
Yeah, not
I
really.
remember one of our old friends was into it,
That was
though.
a rough one, yeah.
Yeah. It was like a first-person RPG, and you're in the woods or some shit. I don't remember.
I
It was a
don't
long time
remember.
ago.
Which is funny. Well, it's not Tasty Cast. I'll stop.
Well, this might as well be. We're fucking going on for a long time. Which I was like, we're going to have a short episode. And fucking that's never the case. We are at 51 minutes. Holy shit. If you were to grade this lineup, what would you grade it?
I think as looking at a list of PlayStation games as a representation of PlayStation that takes advantage of having two controllers and trying to touch all bases, I think they get a solid B+. It looks like they really did some work. There's some weird choices in there personally, obviously,
Yeah.
but
Even the games I like, I'm like, why is that there?
yeah, there's a couple I just don't get. Like the Rainbow Six is a really strange one. I think. I also think Persona is a strange choice, even though I know the fans are huge fans, and I'm sure I would personally love it myself. I did not get a chance to play that one, but I don't know anyone where they would say this represents PlayStation. I could be wrong. I only have my own bubble that I can talk to on that, unless you guys want to talk to me about it. And Mr. Driller is another one for me, but you said you're very familiar with that, and I would.
I saw the
recognize
case.
it,
I was like,
so-
dude, I remember that shit. I think you would if you saw it.
So obviously there's some weird choice in there, and then there's stuff that's good surprises. Like I think Cool Borders 2 is a really cool surprise because it does make sense, right?
Yeah, I didn't even think of it.
And that was super fun. I think I had actually said Snowboard Kids.
Which was on 64, wasn't it?
It was. No, I said. Oh no, what was the snowboarding game I picked? It
Not
wasn't
too
Cool-
extreme.
No. I'd have to look at my comment. I mentioned a snowboarding game though because I was like, there has to be one because
Yeah, they were really big during the
then.
64 and PlayStation era for sure. Yeah,
Anyways, yeah, B+. I think
B
it's a good
plus.
list.
I was gonna give it a B plus as well. So I think it's really strong. I don't think it's the best thing it could ever be. That's where I would be going to an A territory. I think there's some questionable picks there that aren't bad. I'm just like you could have probably done better to get more. I don't know, relevance, I guess. But
Plus they're safe in them.
B plus. Well, that'd be kind of cool if this thing could be upgraded. That'd be something they would have
They're
on
planning a second one.
or a second one, yeah, which they could easily do. Which I wouldn't like. I don't think I'd buy a second one just because I don't want another of the same fucking console.
I agree.
But if there's a way to like download new ROMs or something like that, that'd be or ISOs, that'd be really fucking dope. And be next level compared to the other little micro fucking consoles. But B plus, I think it's a strong lineup. I think it's a good lineup. Some of the surprises I think are really good, like Intelligent Cube. I would have never picked that, and I think it's a good pick because people might like it nowadays. Still, puzzle games translate really well. And then yeah, like I said, the weird picks that I don't think are bad. I have to emphasize that very strongly, but I think something else could have been there. And then a couple of games like Twisted Metal. I think Twisted Metal 2 would have been better, but it's fine because I will definitely play Twisted Metal again. But overall, I don't see any bad games on here, so I think they did a good job.
Yeah, nothing I would go out and just say bad. But
Yeah.
questionable is definitely a better word.
For sure. Let us know in the comments what do you think about these picks. Do you think it's a good list? If you want to give it a grade, feel free to do that as well. Let us know why you did that. Which games here do you remember playing back in the day? Which ones have you never fucking heard of?
Which one was omitted that you would have liked to see on there?
Yeah, what else would you have liked to see on here? Even replace some of these if you want. Tell me, like, get the fuck rid of that game. Put this in there. I hate Mr. Driller. I hate the dentist. And yeah, I think that's going to do it for this
Long episode.
short episode. I think it's one of the longer Tasty Tuesdays we've had in a long time.
Well, a rant and then a list to go through. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's probably good I picked the two fucking topics. This would have been a very long episode. I still got to edit it. So as always, thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy this episode. We are getting very close to 1,000 subs, which is insane. All you guys who've already, and girls who have subscribed already, thank you. This is awesome. But spread the word because we're trying to hit that 1,000 mark. Check us out on Facebook, Tumblr, and Twitter at Tasty Loot Gaming.
Even though that one's pretty much dead, but yeah.
The Facebook one?
Tumblr
and Facebook. Those and Twitter, dude. I'm kind of I don't know. The Discord's a great place to find us if you want to talk to us. But we're still on all those things. Check us out there. Check me out on Twitch at Tasty Senpai, all one word. Hit the notification button to know when I go live. I'm also dual streaming on YouTube, so if you're here already, you can catch my streams there. Yeah, Discord. Already mentioned that. Link down below. Talk to us anytime, all the time. And we're on iTunes, Spotify, and other podcast platforms if you want to listen to us. And if you're listening to us and you want to watch us, check us out on YouTube at Tasty Loot Gaming. My name's Seth.
I'm Chevy.
Until next episode, which is like in fucking a couple hours because we got to do Plus Club and Game of the Month this week. Have a good night. Have a good couple of hours, couple seconds, and take it easy, guys.